Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? I've just been handed an urgent and horrifying news story. And I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
With bits of real panther, so you know it's good.
It's quite pungent.
Oh yeah.
It stings the nostrils in a good way.
Yeah.
Brian, I'm gonna be honest with you, that smells like pure gasoline.
60% of the time, it works. Every time.
That doesn't make sense.
Chiefs Kingdom. It's time for All Chiefed Up with your hosts, Steve and Mike Williams. From the Bluegrass to the Red Sea, this is the Kingdoms Podcast.
Chiefs Kingdom, we're back. All Chiefed Up, back in the house. Not a podcast for that ass, but today we're back with a live for that ass. And if you can see, Steve has been replaced by Mackenzie Webb. I'm going to let her introduce herself. She looks a lot better than us staring at Steve. And if you really want the channel to look good, just go ahead and put your hand up over my side of the screen, and you guys can just focus on her. Mackenzie, how are you doing? Let everybody know who you are, who you work for, and why you're here.
Awesome. I'm excited to be here. Hey, everyone. My name is Mackenzie, and I am a student at the University of Missouri, Kansas City. I'm the sideline reporter for their basketball and their soccer team, and I really love it. I'm studying sports journalism and hopes to one day become a sideline reporter for the NFL. I'm a huge fan of the Chiefs. You guys may know me from my Twitter, Kinsey Webb Sport, where I cover the camp, the preseason games, and hopefully the season coming up. So I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, I found her on Twitter. I've been following her through camp. She does great camp footage. Too bad that came to an end today, because now we'll just have to follow you for other things. But she's still going to be covering the Chiefs throughout the year, so give her a follow. I'll link everything to her in the description below, so everybody go follow her on Twitter. I definitely recommend that. Let's help her grow a little bit. Mackenzie, you were at camp today. Let everybody know what happened. To me, it was a very pre-game kind of feel to it, a 10-10-10, which was very not so much a lot of stuff. Matt McMillan actually tweeted out, Patrick Mahomes is spreading the ball around to kick off today's lighter 10-10-10, which is a success. MVS, Sky Moore, Richie James, Rashee Rice, Kelsey Ross, Noah Gray, all each have a touchdown grab. That was against air, though, Mackenzie. So let everybody know what you've seen out there today.
Yeah, so I got out there earlier practice today at 8:15, Military Appreciation Day. There was a lot of people out there for Thursday, last day of practice, and you could really just feel the tension rising. All the players are ready to go. They've been out there for a lot of time now. It's the last practice. They're just ready to get into the season, get into the groove of things. But we saw Mahomes spread out the ball to a lot of guys today. Moore, MBS, Kelsey, Gray, we saw all of it, and I saw a lot of success. I truly think that this year we're going to have such a great season, and just looking at the first camp, there has been so much improvement now, and I've seen that across the rookies, the vets, all of the guys, and I'm just so ready for the season to start.
Yeah, I think everybody's ready. After that Saints preseason game, that left a lot to be desired. That was hard to watch, especially from the first team, and I get it. Everybody tells us don't overreact, which we're not overreaction. We started a new overreaction Monday thing we're going to do this year. But it's not about overreacting. It's a little bit of like, okay, I get that we were playing very vanilla, but so were the Saints, and they just kind of just put it on us. Defense looked horrible. What did you think about that? Like, what did you think about our defense? Because I thought we looked bad without Chris Jones. Really bad.
See, we did. We didn't look the best. And I know, again, everyone's like, it's the first preseason game, don't overreact. But as Chiefs fans, we're going to form our opinions. And what I saw, I definitely wasn't impressed. I think that we were struggling to put lack of pressure to Derek Carr, just letting him at it. And I still do think that we could have a top 10 defense, possibly without Chris Jones next year. I know that's a very controversial opinion, but I think we could do it. We have so many good guys. We got McDuffie. I think that he's truly going to have such a great season. We have Gay, Bolton, Karlaftis, Watson. So I don't know. I just think that we have to step up in this game against the Cardinals. We can't let them have it. We have to do more. We have to send a blitz. We have to stop them. And we just failed to do that against the Saints.
Yeah, with the Saints. But we did get to see a lot of the third, fourth team guys that are fighting for that 53 man. I've seen a lot of good things out of Keandre Coburn. Went back and rewatched some of that. Coburn is very he played his gap well. He showed some quickness. I even thought Malik Herring looked good when they kicked him down to the defensive tackle in situational pass rush. So I think we see why they're looking at Malik Herring, and I think a lot of Chiefs Kingdom is like, why are we sticking with Malik Herring? Why are we sticking with Joshua Kando? I feel like out of those two, Herring's more of making the roster than Kando at this point because Kando's just not done a lot. But I really do think that they want to stick with him. I believe that they want to let them develop. But that's what I've seen out of it. So I'm going to go to the chat really quick. We got a lot of people in here right now. Welcome. First and foremost, welcome. Again, if you're just joining us, this is Mackenzie Webb. She's taking over for Steve today.
Yes.
He is stuck with a work thing. So she's I messaged her last night. I was like, Mackenzie, I was like, do you want to, short notice, do you want to jump on here and do this with me? And she accepted it. She was game. So I'm excited. I think you're starting your own podcast actually, right?
I am. Yep. It's called the 142.2 show. I think it's going to launch maybe in 2 weeks. We're not sure on a set date yet, but I'm really excited for that. And I'll update people on when the exact date for that is.
Awesome. That's awesome. P Water with the gifted membership. Appreciate you, P Water. I love the name P Water. It makes me think of, just taking a pee in your pool, but that's not what it is. That's not what it is. K Wayne also. No, not K Wayne. What am I thinking? Just Wayne. Great co-host. Who impressed y'all? With the 5 bomb. Appreciate you for the 5. Wayne, always awesome for the support for the channel. Who impressed us? I'll say, are we talking about camp or are we talking about the Saints game? I'll give one from camp so far this year. I think who impressed me in camp, I'll say the wide receiver room in general, because outside of Kadarius Toney, which he opened up a lot of doors for some of these impressive, plays. I'll go with that, and I'll say Justin Ross in particular because he had a lot of pressure on his shoulders, and he actually performed pretty well this offseason. I'll give him that, and he's got a few more games to prove it. And then with the game the other day, I'll say Nico, even though he went down with a shoulder injury, I thought he looked really good with the Saints. So, Mackenzie, I'll let you answer that question. Who was impressed you?
So I know Jay Ross, everyone's been on that hype train, but I think that he truly has earned that. I think that he has proven himself as a player, and we've just saw a lot of him in the Saints game. He snapped inside, used his hands to knock down a defender, used a diamond release outside for getting inside, a motor release. He's been awesome at route running and pass catching in general, and I think that he's going to be a huge weapon for Pat, and we're going to definitely, hopefully, see more of that in the Cardinals game if they play more than just a few snaps. Hope so. Hope they don't end it all. I hope they truly play the half. But yeah, I think
Right.
that he's done very good. And also someone else from camp that's impressed me is Eric Prince. I think he's going to be a huge speed threat, and I think he could possibly be one of the best punt returners for Kansas City. And he kind of reminds me of a little bit of Pacheco, just the way he runs. He runs so tough, breaking through all those tackles. And I think that we're definitely going to see more of him, and he is a really good guy.
Right. We seen him on the kick returns the other day against the Saints, but some of it I went back and watched. There was some unblocked players. It kind of interrupted him. We
Yeah,
didn't really get to
definitely
see him
wasn't
too
his
much. So
best.
I'm
Yeah.
excited to see him a little more.
Hmm.
Just saying hi to everybody in the chat, man. We got the usuals in here. We got Lego, Brenda, Ray, everybody. Thank you guys for being here. I know it was really short notice. I'll let you guys know a little earlier today, but it is early in the day. So I appreciate everybody for being here and hanging with me and Mackenzie, who has now given me permission to call her Kenzie, so that's easier. I'm gonna just go ahead and say Kenzie. So we're gonna do that. Cobra Kai. What's up, Cobra Kai? Cobra Kai Ty was at the event the other day and at Zarda in Blue Springs. It was an awesome event. People were asking me about that, how he liked it. It was great. Zarda was a great host. Everybody had a good time. He said, I'm still eating leftovers from barbecue at the Chew event. I was pleased with Zarda. Really enjoyed it. Yeah, Zarda's pretty top notch. They cater for the Chiefs a lot, so pretty good place. Ray says, how was the event? It was great, man. We got some pictures. We'll throw it up on our Saturday night tailgate, which actually the Chiefs are playing on Saturday this week, so we may do a Friday night tailgate to keep the theme of the tailgate going. So we may do that. I'm going to talk to Steve. We'll figure that one out. But yeah, thank you guys for being here, of course. And we'll get back to talking about some camp right about now. So Kenzie was there today. She's seen some stuff. She actually reported this. She said last day of Chiefs camp, players not practicing: Turk Wharton, Kadarius Toney, L'Jarius Sneed, Nico, Kakoa Crawford, Chris Jones, and that was from Mackenzie Webb. I don't really know who Mackenzie Webb is, but we should probably follow her on Twitter. She looks familiar. Oh, there she is. Yeah, Kenzie, what is the deal with Sneed? I think people is concerned about Sneed constantly being out with that swollen knee, and this is a contract year.
Yes.
Do you see anything wrong with that? Do you think it's just precautionary? Give us your thoughts.
I don't know. I'm scared. He's had that lingering knee injury that's taken him out of camp a lot recently. So I'm wondering if that's going to stop him from the season. We haven't really heard that much from Coach Reed about it and what it's going to look like for him, but he still has it really swelled up. And I don't know how he's going to play. And obviously that's going to be kind of bad for us if we do lose him. I think we can work around it, but I don't know what the season's going to look like for him. And I don't know if he's going to play in these preseason games with it. So kind of worried about it a little bit. Not sure if maybe the end for him. I hope not. I think that he could recover from it, but it doesn't look good if it's lingering and it's an ongoing injury.
Right. It just keeps going and going. It's just, I
Yeah.
feel like it's just inflammation. So I feel like there's being cautious. Again, this is the reason Chris Jones, they're not too concerned. It's practice. Let's be honest. But I don't think they'll play him in the preseason. I really don't. I think he's not going to be played in the preseason. I hope he can stay healthy throughout the season because it's a big year for him. But me and Steve, all chiefed up, we're on the firm belief that the Chiefs, Brett Veach, do not tend to pay corners a big second-year contract. So with us drafting so good and being so deep at DB, this may be the last year for L'Jarius Sneed in a Chiefs uniform, especially if he wants to go get the money he's deserved and he's old. I just don't think the Chiefs are going to pay it out. What's your thoughts on that? Do you think Brett Veach will sign Sneed back to a big contract, or do you think they'll probably just let him walk because of our very deep drafts he's been putting together for the past few years?
Yeah. No, I don't think so. I don't think that he's going to sign him a big deal of money that he wants. And I don't think that it's needed either. I think that we have a lot of good cornerbacks already. We've got a lot of new guys. McDuffie, he's really stepping up. And I don't think that it's going to be a big deal, but I know that he is not going to offer him that big number that he's wanting.
Right. That's what we're just bracing Chiefs Kingdom. It's not always popular. Chiefs Kingdom loves Sneed. We love Sneed, but
I do love Sneed, but no.
Yeah, if you look at the history of the Chiefs, though, I feel like we're just embracing people for like an easier letdown if it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Thanks to Terry becoming a new member, people suggest we don't call our starting members Matt Castle. That offends people to be called Matt Castle. We're possibly working on a new a tier system, and we won't put Matt Castle in there to offend everyone. If you don't want to be Castle, upgrade that. You can get up to Mahomes. I'm just saying. But let's get back to camp. She
Yeah.
talked to us about some injuries. Do you see anybody
Yeah,
else
and
on this list that kind of surprises you or anything? I think I'm more surprised about Kakoa. We didn't hear anything about him today. Why was he out? Did you ever find that one out?
Kakoa, I did not. I tried to find that and I
Right.
did not know what was wrong with him. I'm not sure if maybe it was just an illness. I didn't see any injuries. I didn't see anything updated, so he may have just something minor that he skipped out
Right.
on.
It's kind of what I think, but it's concerning because he's one of those guys fighting for that maybe potentially 7th wide receiver spot if Andy wants to take
Right.
7. And he had a pretty good game against the Saints. I thought he got open a lot. He was very
Yeah, he
impressive.
did.
Charles Goldman actually had told us that the special teams coaches were fighting to get him signed as a UDFA because he brought value to the special team. So I don't think he can afford to miss any time. So I'm hoping it's something
No, he
very
can't.
minor.
Especially with all the guys that we have fighting for those spots at wide receiver room. There's a lot of them and a lot of talent there. A lot of
Right.
diverse talent.
A lot of talent. I think the one thing that
Mhm.
Andy today on the presser, I think the one thing that kind of set the world on fire, and you had alluded to it earlier, Andy was out there just talking, looking good, by the way. Big Red's looking good. I think he's going to coach till
Big
he's like
Red.
100 if he can. He claimed that the starters will play against the Cardinals, preseason game number 2, for a half. So he said last week they were going to play for a quarter. It didn't exactly happen. I think as soon as they put together maybe 1, maybe 2 successful drives, he will yank them off that, that nasty
Oh,
field.
yeah.
But he also said they're monitoring the field. It looks good. They can cut, and he's fine with it. He understands injuries are part of the preseason. Are you fine with Mahomes and everybody playing on that nasty field for a full half?
I'm not. No, I'm not standing for it. That turf, I don't like it, especially with how slippery it is. We had a lot of players out there struggling with it for the Super Bowl, and I don't think it's a good look. But also, I don't believe that they will stay out there for a half. I think maybe a quarter, maybe a little more than that, but I'm not seeing them out there the whole time. And especially just because we want to keep all of them healthy. We don't want to risk anything. I know that Reed wants to see him out there with these new guys, when they're making that roster, but I just think it's good to step back a little bit, let the second team, third team guys out there and just let them do the thing.
Yeah, I totally agree. Doug, thanks for being here, Doug. He says he's at the dentist office with his daughter. He just stopped by to say, hey, Doug, we appreciate you stopping by for a little bit. We were up to 80 people, and I know that's a lot because you guys are driving. You guys got kids back at school, and this was very short notice. We appreciate it. Hit that like button if you don't care. It'll put it out to more people. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. And again, follow Mackenzie on Twitter. We've got she's getting ready to start a new podcast. It's going to be nice. I'll throw up her tweet so you can see her name. It's at Kenzie Webb Sport. Be sure and give her a follow. I appreciate her being with me today. But we also heard from Patrick Mahomes, Kenzie. He said that the O-line has impressed him a lot throughout the preseason, which is cool. He said he was impressed by the new receivers. He mentioned Justin Ross, Richie James. I think a lot of Chiefs Kingdom has been very impressed with Justin Ross and Richie James, to name a few. And we've not really got to see a lot of the first team offensive line in game situation. A lot of people were very concerned, about the left tackle. They thought Donovan Smith was maybe a plan B or a panic signing here and there, and they're just hoping he can get back healthier from last year. What's your thoughts on the offensive line? Do you think they'll be good and solid, or do you think that we are going to have to dig into our reserves? So Wanye better get it together out there.
Yeah, he does. I think I have pretty high expectations for them. I think that we're going to be good. I think that especially watching the O-line in camp, I have saw a lot of improvement, and we want to make sure that we keep Mahomes protected. That is the number one thing. We can't have him continue to get sacked, and we really have to work on that. And what we saw in the Super Bowl is what we need to see all season long, and keeping him healthy and keeping him protected. But yeah, I don't know. I think Smith could have some success. I'd have to see him more in some games to form a full opinion about that. But from my standpoint now, it's all right.
Yeah, I agree. I think the offensive line is going to be pretty good. Jawan Taylor, to me, he did not light the world on fire with his blocking ability for the run game.
No, he didn't.
With Jacksonville. But I will say, pass protection, that's what we do. That's what we do
Pretty
here.
good.
Mahomes is going to throw the ball maybe 60, 70 times some games. So I think we're going to be good. I think it's going to be fine. Yeah, it's one of those things. Amani, what's up, Amani? He says if anybody on the Chiefs gets a season-ending injury on the game, we're riding.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes. Can't happen.
we can't,
Not
right?
going to be a good
It's
look.
a Hefe. He says Andy said they're playing half a game. Fake news. Yeah, I don't think me or Kinsey either one believe they're really going to play a full half. I don't see it
No.
happening. I think as soon they come out sluggish last week. Let's just be honest. It was sluggish at best. We seen a lot of Clyde Edwards-Helaire. And a lot of people say that we seen Clyde Edwards-Helaire just so they could shop him to other teams for trade. That's insane. They're not doing that. I just don't see that. Why do you have to? Why do you have to showcase a guy that's been here for 3 years? Like you don't have to do that in the preseason. That's insane.
Yeah.
What a weird take. Kinsey, do you
Yeah.
think our running back room looks pretty good? And how much more do you think Clyde will get? Because we're under the impression that Clyde's a veteran and he's always liked him. And when he's been healthy and he's used him, we see him as pretty much Pacheco 1A and him 1B.
Yeah. Yeah, and he's been gone for a while, so I've definitely missed watching him play, but I think our room for running backs is looking really good, especially with McKinnon. I think he's going to have a great year. Pacheco, I think he's going to run at least over 1,150 yards, maybe more than that. I have really high hopes for him this season, especially that he played in the Super Bowl with that broken hand. It's crazy to me. So I think
Yeah.
he's going to be good. And Prince, too. I think that he's going to be a great addition for us. I think he's going to pick up a lot of yards. He's really good at his route running as well. He's running those clean routes, and he's really forming that chemistry with Mahomes. And so I think that we can expect a lot from that. Now with Clyde, I'm not sure how I think his season's going to go. I don't know why everyone is saying that we're trading him and that was just to market him. I don't know why, because I don't think that those snaps would market him that well. But
Right.
I don't know. I think that he is going to pick up where he left off and he is going to have a good season. I just think he's coming back from, being out for a while. So he just has to get back in the pace of things. But I'm
Yeah, I
excited.
agree.
I'm excited for Pacheco, especially.
Yeah, 100%. I'm with you. I think Pacheco's going over 1,000 this year. I
Oh,
want to
yeah.
see a lot more Pacheco in the screen game. We've seen that today
Me
at
too.
camp. I've got the clip.
Yeah, we
I'll
did.
run that really quick. It's a clip of Pacheco. Shout out KC Sports Network, by the way. If you don't follow them, go give them a follow. Good guys, friends of the channel. So be sure to go give them a follow. But they've got Pacheco with a little screen, and Pacheco was outright just running. I'm going to show you guys the clip. Here it goes. So it looks like Pacheco, even in a 10-10-10 practice, you can't slow this guy down. I wish I had half of
He's
his
so
energy,
hard.
A. B, if Deion Bush puts his hand on him again, even for the slightest second with that yellow jersey on, I'm going to go smack him. Deion
That's
Bush,
what I
quit.
thought too. I'm like,
Quit.
dude, the no contact jersey's for a reason.
Yeah, just don't
No
even touch him.
contact.
There's no
Right.
reason. Stop
Yeah.
being a tryhard, Deion Bush. Like, just quit. Like, quit doing
Yeah.
it. But yeah, there was nothing
That made me
there.
mad.
Pacheco, I'm excited to see more Pacheco in the passing game. And then, like
He's a
Kinsey
runner.
said, yeah, and then as Kinsey said, Deneric Prince in the passing game, I think, is going to be valuable too. When he solidifies that pass blocking protection, when he can start getting that and figuring it out, and he's going to be able to do that with Jarek McKinnon. They were working after practice the other day. McKinnon is great to have in that room just for that purpose. I believe this running back room is really tight, and I do not think Clyde is getting traded. I do not see it. I think Clyde's going to play a lot this year, barring injury, and that's what we're going to see. We're going to see a lot of Clyde.
Right. Yeah, we
Let's
are
get to
for
the
sure.
chat. Yeah, we are. Let's get to the chat. Somebody asked you a question. I'm trying to find it really quick. Here we go. Cole Keller. He says, Kenzie, if it comes down to either Justin Ross or Richie James, and you cannot take both, which one would you take and why?
See, I have to go with my man Jay Ross. I do. I think that he reminds me a little bit of T. Higgins, kind of, just the way that he's running those routes and doing all of that. But I think that he is going to be a crucial player for Kansas City. And I know a lot of people have been saying wide receiver 1. I think he could definitely get up there. Maybe not 1, but I think that he is going to be such a great guy. I think that he's going to have a lot of completions. We've saw a lot of deep completions from him downfield. We've saw a lot of diving catches from him. His pass catching has been awesome. He's fast. He's been able to run around, get through defenders. So I think I would definitely have to go for him. But Richie, he is really good as well. I do have high expectations for him. I think he'll have a great season. And I do think that
Right.
he'll be on that roster too. Do you think he'll be on the roster, Mike?
Which one? Richie?
Richie.
I think Richie's a roster lock right now. I think
Okay,
I think
me
he's a
too.
lock. I
Yeah.
think he's completely a lock. And just for the sake of being argumentative, if I had to pick the two, I would go ahead and take Richie James at this juncture, just because I'm still not sold on Justin Ross' long-term injury. I want to be able to see him get through something, and we know what we get with Richie James. He's a little bit of a veteran. I thought he's looked seamlessly in this offense so far. He's been a very pleasant surprise to me, and you've seen him at camp a few times. Every day he makes plays out there. It's insane.
Yeah, he does.
He really does. He's awesome. Let's get to another question here. Somebody had another question. I got to find it. Here we go. Lego My Ego says, Kenzie, are you worried about the back half of our season considering all the injuries that are starting to stack up?
I definitely have some worries, not super, but I think that this is why, especially during the preseason, we need to keep the healthy guys out, not give them that much playing time, keep everyone in. And I think that obviously you can't stop injuries from happening. They're going to happen, but I think that we're going to not be as injury prone. I hope so when I'm saying that, because I hate to see anyone go down. It sucks. It's not good for us, but I don't see a lot of injuries happening. I think that we've already had a lot of guys out, like Tony. He's recovering from his surgery, and Sneed, hopefully he's going to get better. So I think that everyone's recovering, coming back in. We have so many guys too. If anything were to happen, we have all of these rookies, and I'm confident in our second team as well that anyone that comes out, we can come back in and do our best to try to keep winning without our good players.
I agree. I don't know if an injury could ever be good, but at least if you see an injury in the wide receiver room or with the DBs, with Najee and then Nick Jones hurt his hand the other day, at least these are in very crowded rooms that are very deep. So at least that, like, as long as we can steer clear of offensive line injury, defensive line injuries, God forbid, quarterback, tight end, anything like that, I think we'll be okay. Yeah. Shout out to Enrique, the $2 super sticker. Leave some ketchup in the chat for Enrique, just because it's a nice bright red super sticker, and I appreciate it. Thanks for being here, Enrique. Julia Gulia has come out and wants me to ask you, by the way, can you ask Mackenzie if she thinks Justin Watson is mid? It goes around that a lot of Chiefs Kingdom is not impressed with Justin Watson. We tell him every day that he's been running with the ones, like, primarily through camp. I think that's probably because Kadarius Toney's injured. But Andy and them love Justin Watson. I think he's going to make the roster. I'm pretty close to calling him a lock, to be honest.
I think that he is going to make the roster. He's not one of my best players. He's not very high on my list. I think he's a little bit above mid. Not the best, not the greatest, but I think that hopefully we can.
And he's here.
Yeah, like a little bit. Okay. Yeah, just a little bit up. I think that, he's had a few hiccups. And he's had some good moments as well. But I think hopefully we'll be able to see this season if he's going to prove himself and what he's going to do for Kansas City.
Right. I think Justin Watson has earned some trust with Mahomes, Andy Reid. He's that veteran presence. It's whatever. Lego says, I like Watson. He did sign to a 2-year deal, didn't he? Yes, they did sign him to a 2-year deal. Yeah. So I think a lot of people think that guarantees him a roster spot. Again, if they cut him, I want to say it was like a $3 million dead cap hit, which is with contracts, that's not the end of the world. I mean, I think the Cardinals eat over $21 million on D-Hop, so I don't think $3 million will be the end of the world. But yeah, Kelly says Watson is a 100% lock, so she's on board with Justin Watson. I think he's on there right now. I think if Andy takes 6. He's on. If he takes 7, he's definitely on, obviously. I think Justin Ross is still on that cut line. Like, I think Andy has to take 7. If Andy only takes 6, though, and he says, look, I'm not taking Justin Ross, that's going to surprise Chiefs Kingdom, is it not? I think they're going to riot.
Oh, yeah.
Because they've been sticking with him for a while. And
everyone already thinks he's on that roster.
Right, and he's not clearing waivers. There's way too much hype. Yeah. It's national hype at this point. He's not getting through waivers. There'll be a team like the Bengals or one of those dumbass teams come over and try to swipe him out from underneath us just to be jerks, right?
It's hard. My sister is a diehard Bengals fan, and she has a Joe Burrow shirt. Actually, no, she doesn't know anything about football. She just thinks that Joe Burrow is cute, and she says she's a Bengals fan, and she wears that every single Chiefs game. And it makes me so mad because she just likes to aggravate me for no reason, and it gets on my nerves. I hate it.
Look, you just explained you explained a microcosm of the entire Bengals fan base. 99% just think Joe Burrow's cute and they don't know nothing about football. And as long as they beat the Chiefs, they're happy. So you did it. We got the 2-bomb from Chief KT. He says, if Mahomes says to do QB sneaks, do you think Andy will? They talked about that today, Kenzie. He said that he would like to be able to call his own number if he has to. I think you may see it as an element of surprise at some point if we ever really need it, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure. I think that maybe we could pull a few of them in if we absolutely needed it, but
right.
I don't know.
Yeah, I just don't want to be running Mahomes if I don't have to, but
I don't either. I didn't like how he ran.
Right.
Yeah, in the Saints game, that scared me. I did not want him running like that.
Right. When he broke
and
pocket,
still, I know
was
that
like,
yes, like stay put. And I know that his ankle is better, but it still scares me. I'm like, please don't get hurt. Last season was so stressful, and I know everyone was on their hands about it.
A meaningless little preseason game, and he's trying to evade the pocket. Don't do it. Just stay there and just throw the ball away. Who cares? We don't care.
Shows he's all for it. Loves the game and wants to keep playing, even if it doesn't matter. But still, it's scary. Now, I did want to ask you a question. Do you think that Noah Gray is going to have a great year? I know on my Twitter, I've talked a lot about it, how I think that he's going to have a breakthrough season. I've seen a lot of improvement from him, and there's a lot of strengths that I've noticed. So do you think that he's going to have that, or do you think he's just kind of going to stay under not the best tight end, who's decent?
Well, I think you're smart with that take. I think Noah Gray was drafted here to be Kelsey's eventual replacement. I really do. I think he mimics Travis Kelce a lot. He looks a lot like Kelce. Last year in camp, he was faster. He was better. This year, he looks even better. He may have been one of the top 5 camp winners of the whole season.
Yeah.
I don't know what his numbers will look like. I know with Jody Fortson now going to IR, obviously, he was a lock to make it, but I think he's a lock to get more and more playing time in certain critical situations, maybe even some red zone opportunities. So I think he's somewhere around that 500 to 600 mark receiving, hopefully, as a ceiling. Maybe a few touchdowns if he can scrape one in, but I'm not worried about his numbers so much. I just want a reliable guy there that can do Kelsey-esque things if Kelsey were to, God forbid, get injured and miss a few weeks, or if he steps away from the game in a few years. I think they've got to decide what they want to do with Noah Gray, because if Kelsey continues to extend, Noah's coming up for a contract here pretty soon, and you're going to have to pay him a little bit, because I think he's got enough out there that other teams would be very interested in him.
Right, and in that overtime game against the Titans, when he made that juggling catch, everyone was calling him Baby Kelsey there, and I think that ever since then, he's just trying to uphold that name. He's trying to do it, but I think that he could, and I was actually looking at his numbers yesterday, and in his first season, he just had 36 yards, and then in 2022, he had 299, so obviously that's a big bump up, but I think that he could go 500-600, maybe more than that, and I think that we're seeing those drastic changes bumping up in numbers. So I think that it's going to be a good year for him, and just seeing his pass catching improving and the connection that he's made with Mahomes, especially during camp, because I feel like he's not talked about that much, obviously, because we have the best tight end in the league, Travis Kelce, but he kind of gets shunned down a little bit just because not that many people are focused on him. But yeah, just the way that I've been watching him, I think that this could be a great season for him, if not his best season yet.
Yeah, you're spot on right there. That's a good take. I think he's going to have a good year. I want to see him have a good year. Steve, he's not with us today. He likes Noah Gray. He thinks Noah Gray's going to have a big year. We're big Noah Gray guys over here at All Chiefed Up. He actually does one of our intros. He says to watch All Chiefed Up. So you got to stick with Noah Gray because he knows what's up. Des the Gym with the 5-bomb. He says, I'm opposed to trading CJ, but would you make the trade if the Cardinals were willing to give up the 2nd or 3rd overall pick? Okay, I don't think the Cardinals would give up the 2nd or 3rd overall pick for Chris Jones, but if they would, Kenzie, would you make that trade? I'm going to put you on the spot.
No, I don't think I would.
I don't think I would either.
I don't think so.
That sounds crazy. People think that we're Chris Jones homers, but I'm telling you, defensive tackles can play decently high level into their 30s. I think Chris Jones is good I think he's elite for another 4 years probably.
Yeah, I do.
And what do you get at the second or third overall pick? I feel like if the Chiefs really wanted to have, wanted to replace Chris Jones, and that was part of their thought process. When that big boy from Georgia was sliding down the board this year, and he ended up getting taken by the Eagles, like right there at the edge of the top 10, the Chiefs had enough ammo to go get him if they wanted. So if you really want to go play, and we're not afraid of character issues here. Let's don't get that like mixed up. We had Tyreek Hill for a little while. We're not worried about character issues. So I just don't think they're considering trading Chris Jones. I really don't.
Yeah, I don't think I would either. I think that he's still so young. He's only, 29? Just turned 29?
He's 29, and you would be
Yeah.
amazed that everybody believes that. We're convinced because the Brett Veach youth movement he's done over the past few years about just going to the draft. That's fine and dandy, but somehow there are a big subset of Chiefs Kingdom that act like 29, 30 years old. You're just done. You're going to the nursing home. You're out. You can't even play football anymore. And I'm like, you guys realize Mahomes is 1 year younger than Chris Jones.
Yeah,
if you're talking
he's
about that with Chris
27,
Jones,
28.
what are we doing with Mahomes next year? We just going to off him? Like, he's out. Like, come on, guys. Appreciate the 5, Dez. Throw some legendaries in the chat for Dez. He's a true OG. He's awesome. We got P-Water with the 5 bomb. He says, I don't think we need the QB sneak. He says, I think we need to quit being cute, however, with our stout running backs. How can we not just run off tackle or short pass? That's what bothers me. I don't understand the point to continually be cute with that little tight end sneak. We all know it's coming. Everybody knows it's coming.
It's not working.
Right. Are you surprised? Colin Saunders, you have 3 defenders over there. Tano, Colin Saunders, and you had Tyrann Mathieu.
Yeah, he knew it was
all
coming.
played, but they knew it was coming. We all knew it was coming.
No, they did.
Yeah. That entire stadium called that out. Everybody screamed at the same time. They're like, tight end. We all knew it. Like, quit.
I know.
Grow up.
I hope they put
and
it
run
into
a play.
that.
Right? They just need to grow up, right? Just grow up and hand it to the – you had Deneric Prince. Big boy. Why don't you put him in and let him earn that starting job? Let him – or not a starting job, but let him earn that 53-man roster a little bit. Let's see what he's got in crunch time.
Yeah, and those short passes work. They can pick up a lot of yards running down. I think that we should start doing that more.
Right. Like those little play actions, the little rollouts. You see it all the time. We've seen it today in camp. I actually got a little bit of a little camp footage I want to show again. Another highlight. This one, if I can find it, was Richie James, actually. Here it is. He ran that little similar, the Miko Hardman play that they always would do, where he would kind of go in motion, Mahomes would just flip it to him. Let me roll that, and we'll watch that. This would have been a nice short yardage play, by the way. Again, they're not trying hard, but it's what counts. Is I think it's the little element. If you want to go element of surprise, do something like this: line them up, spread them out, and let Richie James kind of cut it up for a yard.
Yeah, it is going to make me kind of sad seeing D-Hop on Saturday. I have to say, I did think that he was going to go to the Chiefs. I really did.
It's a sensitive subject. It's a sore subject to the all chiefed up, the ACU crew chat. 65% probably wanted D-Hop, and then the 35% that opposed were very strong-minded that we did not need him. And all we were saying was we kind of would like a proven wide receiver 1 with Mahomes. What would that look like, by the way? And I get that Tyreek Hill was here, and we do have Travis Kelce, cool. But D-Hop is a little different, and you can't double-team D-Hop, and you couldn't double-team Travis Kelce together. You were just going to get railroaded by the Richie James and the Sky Moores of the world, so couldn't do it. But I'm with you, man. You think he went to Tennessee just to retire early? Because I wouldn't want to go catch passes from Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah, I know. I wouldn't either. No, I think that was just, I don't know, maybe the best deal he could get.
I think that's probably what it is, man. Julia says if 30 years old, or if 30 is old, she might be dead. I'm with you. If 30
is the new 100.
Yeah, I mean, Kenzie, you probably got like what, a good 8 years left and you're done. I mean, enjoy it while you got the youth.
I'm just dead.
just enjoy it. They're going to put you, the Chief Kingdom will put you in the home, and they're not going to visit us, I feel like. It's just a life of reruns on TV and Jell-O cups. Like, get used to it. Just get used to it.
But to talk about what you were saying, how we don't have really a set wide receiver, how we did after losing Hill, I think it's also a good thing too. And that's why we've seen so much diversity from all these young guys and all of the rookies coming in. And I like to see all of the different connections that he has with them. And MVS, I've really liked watching him. I feel like he was a guy that caught all of those deep balls last season for Mahomes, and he was still trying to figure it out. So I think that he'll definitely show a lot of improvement this year. And then Sky Moore, he kind of had a slow start to last season, and I think that he's going to pick it up. But I like watching them. I like seeing many different plays. Last season especially, we were used to Mahomes throwing all of those deep balls, or the season previous with Hill. And then last season, we saw more running plays with Pacheco, McKinnon, some short passes, not that much. So I like it. I think that could get guys. Obviously, it'd be nice to have someone set, but as of right now, just working everyone in, trying to figure it out.
Yeah, I think it's been fun throughout camp to not have that one guy. I mean, MVS probably would be technically without. I don't know why Kadarius Toney was named wide receiver 1 anyway. I thought they should have just give that to MVS. I don't know. I think MVS and Mahomes, they hooked up a decent amount last year, but it still felt like the chemistry wasn't there. Mahomes would overthrow him, underthrow him.
Yes.
I think that's
I remember a lot of
missed
passes.
Be a little better.
Yeah, I do.
Don't you think that's going to get better this year? I really do. From seeing them in camp, they're putting in the extra work, and I just think it's going to be
right.
I don't know.
And after playing with him for a while, they know each other more, and I don't think that we're going to see that many overthrows now.
Right. Tristan, thanks for joining us, Tristan. He says, do you see the Chiefs smoke the Lions on the first game of the season? Kenzie, I'll let you answer. We think it's going to be a close game. I don't think they're going to smoke anybody. I do. I think the NFL knows that the Lions are close to being good. They're starting to learn how to win late, and I think that's what gets you over the hump. And I don't think they would put first game of the season. I don't think they're going to allow it to be a blowout. You don't want to lose ratings, right?
And remember the good TV, Mahomes likes, keep it close until the end. No, I don't think that it's going to be a blowout. I think, of course, we're going to win. I don't think it's going to be super close. So I feel like we may have a little bit of a higher lead, but I think that we also need to focus on what we struggle with, is that we're doing really good and then we step back and we let them have it, and we need to not do that this season. I like whenever we can just relax and not have to worry about coming back so late. That gives me so much stress. So I'd like to have a relaxed season. We're doing good, carry it on, not mess up.
The classic Andy, get a big lead and then keep it close towards the end and just make you sweat and cuss.
No,
and
I hate it. I run around. I cannot sit still.
I think we're all in agreement here. Chiefs Kingdom is all in agreement. We want some easier games to watch. We would enjoy a nice blowout here and there. And you would think that a team with Mahomes and Andy Reid and a team that's always the best offense ever. But we tend to struggle. Like last year against Denver and against the Houston Texans, we all felt like those would be nice little easy games. And
the Texans, I thought that was for sure a nice lead on that. They had the worst record in the NFL. I thought that we were definitely going to shut them out. And I know a lot of people had a lot of comments on that, saying how we almost lost to them. But, they're still a good team. They used to be a playoff team. Even though they didn't do good last season, I don't think that they're horrible.
Right. Cobra Kai says he's always half up to his blood pressure meds on game day. Well,
Me too.
Yeah, Dez, that Texans game almost gave me a heart attack. It's one of those things.
Was it Willie Gay? Did he have the pick? Sorry. And the Texans game?
Yeah, against I think he did it against Russell Wilson. Wasn't that the Russell Wilson?
So that was the Broncos.
Yeah, and I think the Texans went to overtime and Jarrett McKinnon broke that.
That's who it was. Yeah, he got that's what it was.
Dude, but so close. Like we never seem to get those blowout games. Like everything's close. It's always a nail biter.
It's always the least expecting teams.
Right.
Yeah.
And we play like trash against AFC South teams. It just never fails. The Colts, everybody like that, like anybody, the Titans, anybody that wants to ground and pound it and just play clock control, Andy just feeds right into it. He'll pass 3 times, get stopped, and then they'll let Derrick Henry run for 2 straight quarters. And it's hard to stop that, But, it's one of those things. There's not
How
really
do you
a lot
think our
else.
games – what? You can go ahead.
Go ahead. Oh, I was just going to say there's not a lot else. I'm going to
No, you go. Sorry, you go.
No, you
go.
go.
You talk.
You go. I quit.
I was going to say, what do you think our game is going to look like this season against the Eagles? Like, do you think it's going to be close?
That's a good one. I honestly think the Eagles may beat us.
Really?
Well, I mean, they're gonna. It depends. It just depends. You know, the Chiefs aren't gonna run the table. You're not doing that. We play too
Yeah.
many close games. We have a brutal schedule. Just kicking it off. I mean, we got the Jets. The Lions are not a pushover. Jacksonville in week 2 is a playoff team. You got the Dolphins in Germany. You got to come back. You play. I want to think off the top of my head, and I'm not positive. Was the Eagles off the bye week? Which Andy does well off the bye, but
Ye-
they're a
Uh,
good team, man. They're a good team, and they're playing for something. So
yeah.
it's tough.
Yeah, I
You
don't
know
know.
what I mean? It's tough. What do you think?
I don't know. I think that it's obviously going to be close. I mean, clearly we only beat them in the Super Bowl because the turf, so maybe a struggle.
Yeah, and the holding call.
Yeah.
We're horrible.
No, but I think that it's going to be close. I'm honestly excited for Jalen Hurts, just an unbiased perspective, because I think he will have a good season this year. I think he's definitely up there for one of the greatest quarterbacks. But I think that we do struggle a lot with their defense, and that's something that we're going to have to work on, keep Mahomes protected. So, yeah, I don't know. I think either it's going to be close. I'd like to say we'll win, but I don't know.
Yeah. Yep. Des says, yeah, they do play the Eagles off the 10-day bye week. So that will keep it closer.
That's nice. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I
didn't know
like that. But is Jason Kelsey going to let younger brother Travis beat him 2 times in a row? As an older brother, I don't think I let that happen. I'll cheat so that doesn't happen. Let's be honest.
Is
if
it
I was
Jason's
Jason,
last year?
He's signing 1-year deals over and over, so it just kind of depends. It could be. It really could. Maybe if he beats Travis, he'll go out on a high note.
Yeah,
That's all
you
he wants,
would.
right?
Like, I'm done. That's all I needed. Yeah, I don't know.
That's what it is. Yeah. What I was going to say earlier was that camp was just today was the final day. It was basically a glorified walkthrough, so there's not a lot of news on that. I told her last night, I was like, hey, we're going to talk some camp and different things, but let's be honest. We all knew it wasn't going to be a lot of camp news today. We got a game in a single day, so they're going to take the day off tomorrow. I'm excited to see what it looks like once they get back to KC and they start getting back into their own practice facilities and different things.
Yeah.
Because I feel like, I mean, we don't see behind the scenes, but Andy runs a tough camp. And I thought the rookies and everybody handled it well this year. I really did. Not a lot of missed games or missed practices from any of the rookies, to be honest.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of who it was, if it was Rice or it was I think it may have been Rice, but he said that he was throwing up a lot and he was like, it's Andy's camp, man. It's hard. You know what I'm talking about? Was that Rice?
I know what you're saying. Yeah, it was right at the beginning. It was right at the beginning of
He was
camp.
so hot. So
Dude,
hot, so miserable.
The day we went on Tuesday morning. The weather was gorgeous. It didn't even get to 75 all day long. The sun was shining, beautiful.
You're
if I would
lucky.
have drove 10 hours and we'd have got rained out and they'd have took it indoors, I'd have rioted. They would have arrested me in downtown St. Joe.
Oh gosh.
But yeah, so when you go to camp, you don't live in St. Joe. You just drive there from KC, right?
Yeah. I live in Lee Summit, so it's about an hour drive. But there were some days where I woke up at 4, got there at 5, tried to get first in line, and still some of the days that I got there really early, I did not get a spot right by the gate, and everyone is struggling to fight for it, and everyone's at it to get those autographs and everything. So I don't know. I liked going to the camp, liked covering it, but I don't like being in huge crowds of people that.
Right. So
are
did you
all
cover?
fighting.
Do you cover like for the school, like for like a school paper, or do you just cover for like freelance journalism type stuff? Like
I've
for
just
your
been doing
own-
this for fun, just because
for
I love
fun,
the
right?
Chiefs and just because it's fun for me. But once the school year starts, I'm gonna actually start covering like UMKC sports and stuff. But I
Gotcha.
just like the Chiefs. It's just
Well,
Yeah.
next year, if you're not covering for anybody, you can cover for All Chiefed Up. I'll write you a paycheck and I'll send you out to
nice.
I'll send you out to St. Joe. It was fun. I liked it. I want to go out there next year for maybe longer than a few days. I'd like to go out there for a few weeks and just cover. We got to get it in the budget. We're a growing channel. We're going to get it in the budget.
Yeah.
Kitten Video says, who's older, Mike or Steve? I'm older. I'm older by like, I want to say like 13 months. So like there's like a 2-month gap where we're like 1 year apart. And then, but I was the big brother that was mean. If you guys came to our Zarda event on Tuesday night, which was excellent, by the way, thanks to Zarda. Everybody was asking us questions about growing up and things. And They asked me what I regret doing as an older brother. Kenzie, do you have any siblings?
I have a sister. She's 2
Is she
years
older?
older than me. Yes,
So
she's going to be
so she
22.
picked on you.
Yeah.
Okay. What's
Yep.
the meanest thing she ever did to you?
She used to run around with a knife and scissors, and one time she cut my hair because she was mad that I wore her clothes. So she
Wait,
got the
hold up,
scissors
hold up.
and she-
Stop. So you've told us that you are siblings with an older Bengals fan, Jeffrey Dahmer. Like you've got a
Yes,
serial killer in the family. That's
that's
cool.
exactly it. Yeah,
Well, I'm glad you were able to
I
be
think
here
it's
today.
it's funny. I like to post stuff about her on my Twitter, and I just like everyone attacking her. It's really funny to me. I find joy in it. And someone said, "Did she get dropped on the head as a baby?" And all of these other comments. And she was sitting there. She was like, "I can't take this." I'm like, "Well, maybe you should switch sides and
Yeah.
actually learn about football."
You know what's funny? Like we hate the Bengals. We're from Louisville, and like we just grew up. Like everybody around us was Bengals fans, and then like there's some Colts fans to the north, and then some Titans fans
Yeah.
to the south because we're right in the middle of it. We actually had some Rams when they were in St. Louis, you know, because we're pretty close to that
Oh,
too.
yeah.
So we're right in the middle of all those. But Steve, his daughter, she doesn't like football. She doesn't follow football, but she annoys the crap out of him because she grew up always loving cats. And so she tells him she likes the Bengals. And oh my God, he wants to ground her for life. 24/7, he just wants to put her
As
in a room.
he should.
Right, and like she's just gonna do that. Like that's the way it is. But Gil with a 20 bomb. Gil, I appreciate you, man. Me and Kenzie's having a good time talking football today. Kenzie, let me know if you have to go. When you have to go, just raise your hand. Give me a signal. Be like, and we'll just cut it off. But yeah, Gil, appreciate you being here. Appreciate the $20, man. That goes a long way. By the way, before I forget, leave some legendaries in the chat for Gil and a ketchup bottle. I don't know if he likes ketchup, but he's getting some. And we got 151 people in here, which is pretty insane for 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So that's awesome. But we only have 54 likes. So 151, 54 likes, big disparity. Hit the like button for us if you don't care. Subscribe to the channel. And be sure to follow Kenzie on Twitter, by the way, because that's why she's here. We're promoting her. We're getting her out there. It's at Kenzie Webb Sport. It's right there in the middle of the screen at the top. Come on. Who don't want to follow her on Twitter and get some updates? She's going to be covering the Chiefs all year. She's going to be doing a lot of good stuff. Gil, I appreciate you for the $20. And, yeah, man, not a lot more to talk about as it pertains to camp, though, Kenzie. Like, it's just, are you glad it's over a little bit?
Yeah, I'm glad I can finally sleep and I don't have to wake up early every day. Ready to relax, have a break. Preseason's already here, season, but now I did want to talk about these fights that we've been seeing in camp because it's been unlike some other ones. We've been getting aggressive. We saw Kelsey get angry and, Mahomes had to break up one of them. Why, tensions are high. Fights are going to happen. They're going to be aggressive, but why do you think it was that bad this year?
Dude, why does Kelsey feel like he's just going through something? Like
I know.
I thought he got back with his ex. I thought he was back with Kayla, but I don't think that's a thing. So my theory was out.
I think he has a girlfriend. I think he has a girlfriend.
The new girlfriend.
Yeah, I saw a video of them. I'm not sure if they're still together, but she's like a model. She's pretty.
Well, I mean, he's Travis Kelce. I'd date him.
Well, Taylor Swift doesn't want him, so.
Hey, forget Taylor Swift. Not body shaming, but she looks like a lollipop. Like she's just a head on a stick. And I mean,
you're gonna make all the Swifties in the chat mad.
I know. Hey, if we got Swifties in the chat right now, that's weird. A, B, I don't know. It is what it is. But yeah, Kelsey's been battling, but I think a lot of it's the defense punching the ball a lot. And I think that, well, we just seen Nick Jones with that bad hand injury. And if you was to hit somebody in the finger, break a hand, like, do you think Kelsey wants to get his hand broke in camp on a meaningless rep? Like, so I think he's just taking offense to it a little bit, to be honest.
Yeah.
Dez,
he is.
I'm sorry. Dez laughed at the lollipop. Dez, if you're a Swiftie, I'm sorry, buddy, but I don't think he is.
We're sorry.
Terry with a 10 bomb. She says, I enjoyed your insight, Kenzie. Thanks. So
Thank you.
Look.
So Do you think that Nick Jones is going to be in that home opener? Because I know he has those fractured fingers, but I
Right.
was looking it up and it said it's only 6 to 8 weeks to fully heal, but I know some players have played in games with that. So when do you think he's going to come back?
Right. I wonder, I don't think Andy's talked about it. Are they going to
Not
cast it?
really.
They said
I
that
think
it's
I think
possible
they're
he may have to have
casted.
surgery. So,
Yeah.
right. Well, if it's casted,
Yeah,
I
I
think
don't
he can
know.
come back. I think he can play instantly. Do you think Nick Jones makes
Yeah.
the 53? Because I think he's right
I
on the
do.
bubble. But
Yeah,
I
I
think he's
do.
looked
I think
good.
our cornerback room, we have so many good guys. That's what I'm really excited for. I think that he's really good. And he's had a lot of PBUs. He's been defending, blocking. I have a lot of high hopes for him. Definitely.
Yeah, I thought he's looked pretty
He's
good. I
looking
mean, a
good.
pleasant surprise. Veach has been finding these
Yeah, it
7th round
is.
defensive back
I know.
gems for
Just pulls out the dimes.
like his
Yeah,
luck has to run out at some point, right? Does it?
I hope
I
not.
don't know. Does it? I don't know.
Hope not. I
knows?
hope we keep getting them. But yeah, with
Do you-
Snead, McDuffie, Williams, Watson, Nick, like I think that we're looking
Right.
really good. And I know that McDuffie said that he's been learning off of Snead a little bit and just trying to take like a leadership position moving into the season. Because obviously, we just went from being world champions and we're wanting to continue that. So I feel like we have a
Right.
lot of pressure, but I think we can uphold that.
Dude, our defensive backs are so good. I mean, look, we drafted
Yeah.
Shamari. We traded up for him, and I know they got him listed as safety, but I think he was kind of brought in to do the L'Jarius Sneed kind of thing. Like he can cover
Yeah, I think
just
he's
about
pretty good.
anywhere. And
Yeah, he
so I
can.
think he's going to look good. Our
Mhm.
UDFAs we brought in, Echo Boydo has been playing amazingly. He was running
Yeah.
with the first teams. Khalif Hallisey, he got a pick against the Saints. We love Khalif Hallisey. He's
Yeah,
from
he
Western
did.
Kentucky. So we've been following him since he was a Hilltopper. Dude, we called him. We were like, look, he is a prototypical tall, lanky, will hit you kind of corner. And we were like, I think Kansas City's going to like him. He's been moving up the depth charts. I would love to see that kid make the roster for real.
I do too. I hope so.
Yeah. The problem is there's only 53, Kenzie. Can we get a rule change where we can get at least 60 on the roster? Why not? Like, why does it have to stop at 53? It's such an
Nice.
odd number.
How are you feeling about Blaine Gabbert being our backup QB?
I think I'm okay with it. I'm okay
Yeah.
with it. I trust Andy.
Yeah.
Andy and them wanted him. They
too.
didn't they didn't rush. There was a lot of people
Mhm.
saying, let's go get Cam Newton. There was a lot of people saying, let's go get Teddy Bridgewater. There was a lot of hype about there's another one right in there somewhere. Oh, Marcus Mariota. There was hype about him.
Yeah.
But they took Blaine Gabbert. I think they liked him. He's he's been around the league. He
Yeah, he has.
worked under Brady for a little bit. So I mean, I think he does what he wants. And I think that's why a lot of people are saying, why don't we just stick with Shane Bichelle? Well, you see from Bichelle a lot of good plays, but you'll see a lot of bad plays too, because he's that gunslinger type. And I think Andy just wants the
Yeah.
most boring, run the offense in the most boring
What
way
you
you
want.
can and just get us out of
Yeah.
the game. That's why.
Well,
he
yeah,
did it.
and he went 11 for 18, and he had 155 yards in the game against the Saints. And then Gabbert was 4 for 8, and he only had 59 yards. So I wasn't super impressed by Gabbert in the game, but I think that he still could be reliable if Mahomes has to go out.
Yeah, I think Gabbert's gonna be fine. I think he makes the team. I do think they'll go ahead and take 3. I think Oladokin's probably out.
Yes, yeah.
I mean, I don't see it.
And the pick.
He did show some amazing
Pick.
some poise in the pocket. He made a good throw to Nico.
Mhm.
God, I love Nico. I wish he wouldn't have got injured.
I do
but
too. I'm sad. I hope that he
Look, we
gets
got
better.
talking straight into Nico. That's what he does to you. He just makes you want to stop and gush over him a little bit.
he's really good. Yeah, he
I just want to
is.
think about Nico for a moment.
I asked my Twitter a few weeks ago because you know how we were like, anything's possible.
Right.
And I asked him, I'm like, what's Gabbert's going to be? There was a lot of funny ones. There was like Gabbenheimer, no Blaine, no game or something.
Oh,
And I don't know. I don't remember, but they were funny.
was it no Blaine, no gain? That would be
Yeah,
hilarious.
yeah.
Actually,
Yeah, that was it.
Blaine and
think.
Simple.
Yeah, that was on there.
Oh, okay, there you go.
Yeah.
Who?
He's
I think
good.
he'll
I'm
be
going to miss
okay.
Henny though.
Me
Yeah.
too. I like Henny, but I will say
Yeah.
this: let's hope we don't have to ever talk about Blaine Gabbert throughout this season.
I know. That's what someone said. They were like, for his nickname, it's going to be like, oh my God, why is he in the game?
Right? Why is he
Yeah.
in the game, Blaine? That's his
Yeah.
new one.
He's been pretty
Dude,
good during camp, though. He's connected with
yeah.
Sky and Ross and all of these guys. He's been doing
You know
pretty
who we've
good.
not
But
talked about today, and it's a miracle. We've been talking about camp. We've not mentioned Rasheed Rice a single time. And Rasheed Rice is awesome, by the way.
He is good. He is really good.
He's lived up to the second round hype, I believe. I think
I do too.
he's more on pace, last year this time than Sky Moore even. I think Sky Moore's gonna have a big year this year. I really do.
Oh yeah.
But
yeah.
Rasheed has just come in and
He's
I think it's the
already
body
came in.
style. Because he's that bigger guy that Mahomes that we feel that they need, and then he's also good after the catch. He's smart.
Yeah.
He's got good hands. I think he may break the Andy Reid stigma of rookie wide receivers don't do well under Andy Reid. I think Rasheed Rice is going to break that, don't you think?
Yeah, I do. And I hope so, because even from watching him at camp and all of the autographs he signed, Kansas City loves him. They're so happy to have him there. And I do have high expectations for him. I think he'll have a good year. And also, whenever I talked to Keandre Coburn, I asked him what he's looking forward to the most being in Kansas City. And he said just upholding the hype that the Kansas City Chiefs had. We're world champions coming back from that. And, most rookies like Sky Moore and, those young guys, they came out, McDuffie, from their first season already having a ring on them. And a lot of people don't get that. And so they just want to keep it steady and keep that name held up and doing good and winning. And it is a lot of pressure. And that's what Coburn said. But he thinks that he has what it takes to do as much as he can for Kansas City, get rolling, and hopefully win again. Hopefully repeat.
Yeah.
Get a third ring.
Don't you want to come in as a world champ? He comes into his first year, gets that world champ, and then repeats. That's epic, dude. It's hard to repeat. We got a 20 bomb from Jan Fry Gable. Thank you for the super sticker, Jan. We appreciate you. Me and Kenzie are having a good time talking Chiefs, so we appreciate the support. Drop some legendaries and some ketchup for Jan in the chat. She is a real one. And then Gil with another 20. He said, it's nice to see all my friends here today. Let's go. Gil, more legendaries for Gil, by the way. Gil is awesome. Kenzie, I feel like they like you. Is this the first time you've ever been on a like a YouTube podcast? Like,
yeah, it is.
Have you done any podcast work? This is your first time, huh?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
I'm starting mine, but I haven't got on anyone's yet.
Do you guys plan on doing any video, or just going to be like Spotify, things like that, just like audio?
We plan to do video. I want to.
Okay.
I like that best.
When you get it up and going, you have to come back on, and we'll kind of do some stuff together, and we'll get you guys going. It's good to have new people in the kingdom. A lot of people think that we all fight each other for space, and I mean, look, there's a limited amount of space on YouTube, and it is very crowded.
Yeah.
YouTube is hard. Let's be honest, it's hard.
It is hard.
But like Cole, are you familiar with Cole? How about those Chiefs? We're friends with Cole. He come on the same time we did, and he just blew up. YouTube loves him. It must be the red beard bald thing. They love him. So my thing to you, get your beard, get that head shaved, call your sister up, see if she'll bring over the butcher knife. See if you can get that going. You may be okay.
She's going to be so mad at me.
Right. Hey, sorry. What's her name?
She's going to watch it back. She's going to be like, you are so mean.
What's her name?
Kylie. I love her.
Kylie?
She is my best friend. We do get along really well. Yeah, she's a nurse. Just became a nurse, just graduated. She loves it.
That's cool. Kylie, look into the camera right now. You see me? Wake up. Look. Quit the Bengals crap. Just come on over to the Chiefs. The red probably looks better on you anyway. If you're blonde like her, look at how it contrasts. Get it together. But thanks for being a nurse. That's a hard job. We'll take a few more questions from chat, and then we'll let Kenzie get out of here because we've actually hit the 1 hour mark. That's a little longer than we were probably going to go, but you know what? We're having a good time. 78 people hit the like button so far. Let's see if we can get that up to 100. We got over 140 still watching. Appreciate you guys being here. We're just talking to Kenzie, seeing what she's going and what she's doing with her life. Brian Parrott said, Cam's in Cabo. The Super Bowl's over. We had this troll, Kenzie. His name was Cam, and the only thing we could figure out was he was a child because he was talking trash before the Saints preseason game, and he was telling us that they were going to beat us, and we were like, okay, it's preseason. And then he was telling us how Derek Carr was going to win a Super Bowl in his first year with the Saints, and that they were going to beat the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. And we just laughed him off. And then we made a short today talking about how Cam was right. He just come over and told us the truth that Carr shredded our defense. This kid's seen the future. What do you think about Cam? You don't even know him, but what do you think about the Saints tro? Do you think he was onto something, or do you think he got lucky?
I don't know. I think that he's a sidekick. He just knows. He knows everything. I don't think the Saints, we will see them in the Super Bowl, but that's some great encouragement for them.
Yeah, I'm with you. Julia throws out some hearts for Mackenzie. They like you, Mackenzie.
Thank you. Thanks,
I'm excited.
guys.
We'll have to have you back a few more times if you'll come back. We'll have to have you back on here with Steve so he can get to know you a little bit and talk to you. He's wild though. I'm telling you. He's one of those guys. He's got a lot of the. He's got some hot takes, man. He gets the chat going out here. Like
nice.
He does. And then he blames.
I know. I try to not be as controversial. Actually, I wasn't expecting it because on the day of the Saints game, how I was saying that our defense is still going to be top 10. I had a lot of people trolling me saying no, but.
Okay, look, I didn't troll you, but I think without Chris Jones, I think it'd be hard to be a top 10 though, right?
Personally, like I see where you're coming from. I don't know.
So what do you think the replacement plan would be for Jones? Assuming it'd have to be Turk Wharton, right? Turk and Noddy?
Yeah. Wharton.
Coburn. Like, it's a good line.
Yeah, Coburn. I mean, I think it's going to take him a little bit of time to move up to there, but I'm really on the Coburn train. I like him. I think he's good. He's initiating lots of contact. He's plugging in those gaps. I think he's good.
I think my whole hang up would be that, it's hard to replace a top 10 player in the NFL. And Chris Jones is a top 10 player in the NFL. So, I mean, to me, I feel like if Chris Jones was off this team, we'd probably be like a bottom 25 defense. But look, I'm a negative person. Yeah. I'm a negative person. Let's be honest.
See, I'm super positive. Even if we lose and do really bad, I'm still like, that's my team. But I know it sucks. I don't know. Well, because think about it. We lost Hill. Everyone said that we weren't going to make it into the playoffs, not be a playoff team. And there's already been a lot of people that said this season without Frank Clark that we're not going to be that good. And I feel like everyone is always doubting us and just if we lose a player, but they're not seeing how many new guys that we have in and all of these backups and second teams and all of these guys. So
we're deep.
I'm not worried.
We're deep. Yeah, we're deep across the board. I totally agree with that. I just don't want to lose Chris Jones. I love Chris Jones.
I don't either.
I don't want to lose
and
him.
His cryptic tweeting. Yes, his tweeting has made me so mad.
You're right. We got one today, seriously. By the way. Look, he just said, "Thank you, God." That blew up Twitter today.
What are you thanking God for? Did you get your extension?
He just can't wake up and thank the good Lord. He has to have a reason. Like,
he's just having fun with it at this point.
Nobody thanks God unless they get handed a $100 million contract. Apparently, I don't know. People are just on to something. I think Chris Jones is a masterful troll on Twitter. I think he loves it. I think he does. He gets a kick out of it.
I just wonder what he's gonna say coming back, or if he'll ever say anything. Because you know how he likes to talk. I remember in one of his interviews, he was like, yeah, we're playing at Burrowhead. He's like, yeah, that's what it's called, right? That was funny. He's real.
Yeah. I love Chris Jones, dude. He's so funny.
Do you think he's going to be back in the preseason?
I think he'll be signed. I think he's going to re-sign. Well, he's got to come back because he's under contract. There's just no doubt about it. But does he get the new contract? I think they might try to work something out before the last preseason game's over. I do. I wouldn't want Chris Jones to have to because I'm under the theory that he wants to be here, and I think Brett wants him here, and I think I don't even think it's the number. Everybody's fighting over, is he worth 30? Is he worth 28? What's he worth? I don't even think that's what they're arguing over. I think they're arguing over stuff like bonuses and years and different things like that. So I think once that gets done, it'll be fine. But I think he's testing the Chiefs as in are you guys a franchise that are just going to be cheap all the time and just try to win on the cheap and cut people at the age of 29? Or you guys want a little loyalty? So, and you've seen Ravich come out and said that, look, they got rid of Tyreek Hill in preparation for this. That's why they got rid of Tyreek Hill.
He's smart. He's definitely a smart guy. He knows what he's doing.
Right. SA Flip with the 5. He says, you only got one fave. Who are you most hyped for from the offense and from the defense? New pickups and rookies only. So who's a new pickup or a rookie, Kenzie, that you like on the offense?
J. Ross, of course. I really like Richie too, and Rashi.
Okay.
There's all of them. I'm really excited for them. I think that they're also very unique in all of their different ways. I think that they have a lot of different good abilities, and that's good for Mahomes. So I'm looking forward to them. And then defense, Coburn.
Yeah.
I am.
Coburn. Coburn for me was like
Oh,
the one
Felix.
draft pick. Felix looks good too.
Yeah. We haven't talked about him today either. Felix is looking good.
We didn't. Felix, yeah, I went back and watched some of the Saints stuff from the other night, and Felix was he got off the ball really well. He had some good moves.
Yeah.
He pressured a lot. I think Felix is going to be fine. I really do. I
do
think
too.
his sack total this year is going to be somewhere between that 6 to 10 mark. I think he can do just as well as George, and I actually think he's got more of an arsenal than George Karlaftis. And I'm a Karlaftis guy. Like, I like him, but I think Felix has got all the tools too.
I don't see him starting the first regular season games. I feel like he may be at that starting position like later into the regular season if they let him, but I just don't see him starting now.
Right,
at least.
even with a Minihue missing 6 games.
Yeah.
I still don't think he starts.
And
see,
that's given him the opportunity to really play with
Right.
that first team defense.
I think he'll get a lot of snaps with the first team. I think it's just going to be a heavy rotation between him and Mike Dana. Mike Dana looks good. He's going into a contract year, and I think he's going to look good.
Yeah, I think
We're just so
he's going to
deep.
be at that starting spot. Yeah, we just got a lot of guys. Yeah, and I was looking at Felix whenever he was at K-State, and he was really good. He did have a lot of sacks. I wrote that. Oh, here it is. He started all 14 games. He had 46 tackles, 11 tackles for loss, 8.5 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, 1 pass breakup. So just by looking at those numbers, he's pretty good.
Right, I think he translates well. I really do.
Yeah, he does.
Me and Steve were really high on him. We thought Felix was probably second or third best defensive end in the whole draft class, so we were ecstatic at 31. Yeah. A lot of Chiefs Kingdoms thought that we reached on him. They didn't like it. I don't get that.
Yeah.
I mean, because honestly, I feel like defensive end may be one of the weakest spots on our team. So,
yes.
And we didn't talk about B.J. Thompson either. We traded up for him. Do you think B.J. Thompson gets on the roster or no? Because that's tough.
I honestly don't think so. I don't. I think that he is a good guy, but I just think that I don't know if he'll be able to make that spot. Do you think he's going to?
Well, he's fighting for it. The reason I'll say that I think that they may find a reason to get him on is because they did trade up to go get him. So that's a lot of draft capital just throw to the practice squad. You know what I'm saying? But they've done it before.
I'd like to see him play. Yeah.
Right. They've done it before. A few years ago, we drafted a kid. It was a safety out of Notre Dame, and I can't remember his name, but we drafted him in the 3rd round. We ended up cutting him. He didn't even make the team. They drafted him in the 3rd round. So, you never really know. But I think everybody's played pretty well this year, and I'm excited to see it. If you guys got any last questions, throw them up. We're going to be on for like 2-3 more minutes, and we'll let Kenzie answer just a few more of your questions, and then we'll let you guys get on about your day. We appreciate you guys being with us throughout the middle of the day. For real, this is crazy. I didn't think we'd have like 150 people watching this in the middle of the day. That's insane. But Chiefs Kingdoms, they're a wild breed, Kenzie. Have you noticed? Like,
love it. See, it's actually crazy. When I started my Twitter account in June of this year, and I've always loved the Chiefs. I've always been a big football fan, but I was like, you know what? I want to start posting about it. And I just started following everyone that had the hashtag Chiefs Kingdom in their bio, and that's really how I started.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good idea.
Got in the groove.
Yeah. Do you think that Chiefs, well, not Chiefs Kingdom in particular, but Twitter, I think we'll call it X. I think that's what they want to call it now, so I'll call it
weird.
X. Yeah, it's kind of strange. But do you feel like X is this weird world where like people just say what they want and they attack you over the smallest thing?
Yeah.
It's just the world's going to hell, Kenzie.
I know.
if it ends up like X, we're all in trouble. That's what I've learned.
I know.
Oh man. Okay, I'm gonna give you 2 more questions in here, and then I'll let you guys go. Lego says, Kenzie, what are your thoughts on Lucas Niang? Do you think he'll make the roster?
Ooh. I don't see him making the roster, but I think that watching him from the first day of camp into the span of the last day, I think that he's definitely had some improvements, and we were seeing him more. He was getting more play time, but I think that just with the other guys there that they're going to be over him.
Yeah, we're not big Lucas Niang guys. Nothing against him personally. I just feel like it's been an experiment, and it's just not panning out for me. And they took Prince Tega Winogo last year to be the swing tackle. You drafted Wanye in the 3rd round. He can be the swing tackle. I just don't see the point of keeping Lucas Niang on the roster. Brian Parrott asked, why does it seem like everyone bends over backwards to cut Felix 40 miles of slack, but everybody was way overcritical of George Karlaftis for like a year now? That is true. People did not like the Karlaftis pick last year, and they give him hell.
No, they didn't.
But everybody, they're very keen on Felix coming in and being good. But I think maybe because George was just all about hustle and didn't really have a lot of tools in his arsenal, but Felix has the tools. And
I think it'll be really special for him since he grew up around the Kansas City area. It's just a full circle for him. So I'm excited.
Yeah, I think he wants to play really hard for his city, right? Like he wants to be, maybe he wants that statue. He don't want Mahomes to have all the roads named after him. Maybe he wants a Felix Avenue or something.
Felix Road, yeah.
Yeah, he wants Felix Road or something. Who knows? Okay, last one. We'll end on a fun one. Julia Gilly says, does Mackenzie have any pets?
They're actually next to me. I have 2 golden retriever puppies.
Ooh, puppy. Can we see him?
Kobe.
Oh, she's going for it.
Come here. They're so cute. Come here. Come up, Kobe. I hope he doesn't break this. Come here.
Oh, God. Sorry.
Oh. Kobe.
Oh.
That's him. He's so cute. And Kinley's over there. He's sweet, but yesterday we took him
when you said puppy, I was thinking puppy. So now I know why you're not going to pick him up.
He's 1. But we took him to get ice cream yesterday. And he almost ran off, and so I had to grab him, and he completely scratched up my whole leg. I thought I was gonna have to get stitches. It's bad, but I love him. Jeez. He's sweet. He's just ornery. Now he's gonna try to come up here.
Golden retrievers they're the biggest, goofiest, sweetest dogs, right? They're so goofy.
Yeah, they're so cute. They're just human dogs. I love them.
I have a dog named Stella. This is her.
Stella.
I got her put on a canvas.
Aww. That's cute.
I had her put on a canvas. She's mean. She hates people, and I don't get it.
Oh, look at him right now. He's
adorable. Golden retrievers just want you to hold their big paws all the time, don't they?
Yeah.
It's so sweet.
He's so cute.
That's great.
So cute. My dad. Oh, now he wants to come. He hates
Kobe's
when I
on the
wear
show,
hats.
baby. There we go.
We have a jersey for him that says his name.
I hear him talking. He's trying to talk to us.
He's a Chiefs fan.
That's a good deal. I like him. Well, he's allowed to come on the show anytime he wants, I think.
Oh, no. Yeah.
Okay, look, I've caused Kenzie some problems now. But okay, well, Kenzie, let everybody know what your next project is or what you got working, where they can find you, where they can follow you, and everybody listen to what she says and do as she says.
Listen to me. Just kidding. Yeah, so I post on Twitter a lot. I'm very active on that. It's Kinsey Webb Sport. And I'm going to start a podcast with my friend from UMKC, and it's called the 142.2 Show. And we're going to be covering all the Chiefs games. We're not doing any of the preseason, so our first episode will probably come out right before or maybe after the home opener. I'm looking forward to that. And then, yeah, I'm just going to be covering them, doing that. And then once school starts, I'll be doing the sideline reporting for basketball. So I'm excited. I have a lot on my plate for this fall, but I'm ready to take it on. I love football. I'm a big football fan, and I really just want to change the perspective on the whole sports industry and really work towards my goal. So, yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah. Hopefully the ACU crew will support you, and we'll get you back on for some more stuff because you've been a great guest. Yes. And it's been a fun time. It really has. And we got to meet Kobe. I mean, come on.
He took my hat. He's eating it right now.
Before we go, though, I just want to give you guys this.
They call me El Travidor.
Hey, you got to get the El Travador in. Our last day of camp is done, and Travador, he made it. He's mad, but he made it. That's all there is to it. So we're out of here. Thank you guys for tuning in with us. Mackenzie, appreciated having you on. You're awesome.
Yeah, of course.
And with that, go Chiefs, and we will see you guys next time.
Chiefs.
There goes a sight from my soul.